I believe is going to make a big difference in your life like it has in mine. And without any further ado, show some love for Brent Reaves.
Look, I'm going to stay down here.
All right,
I'm going to stay down here.
All right, do your thing.
Yes, sir. Good morning, y'all. It's early on a Saturday, ain't it? Amen. All right, look at y'all finna go on ahead and do how we going to do this, all right? We're going to have like a really intimate conversation. If anybody wants to move up closer, y'all are more than welcome to do that because I'm going to be out here with y'all. I don't do stages. I let that for folks who do that. Yeah, I think that's great. That's sweet. But right now, you know, I like to see the peoples, all right? So before I get started, and fellas, I'm sorry, I'm going to walk around a lot. It's not going to be, oh, I love y'all already. Tell the Lord, thank you for the brothers with the cameras. Yes. All right, before we get started, though, I actually want to have a word of prayer. I really think that we're in a different shift right now. And listen, I know we talk about business and all that stuff, and that's great. But there's something that's a little bit more important to me than just business. Business is just like the vehicle to do what I really do. It really is. Because the thing I really like to do is to connect people back to God and increase their relationship with Him. Because we sure get a whole bunch of opportunities to do that. Y'all know how it is. You swipe that credit card and it don't work, or you pray that it work. And if you ain't been there, that's a blessing. I've been there too many times. I've been there. All right? So if y'all don't mind, let's stop and just have a word of prayer real quick, because I want you to get ready for what it is that it's not a coincidence that you're here. It's not a coincidence that I'm here. It's not a coincidence that Clifton's been doing this for 14 years. Give it up for 14 years. I mean, I am a fan of Clifton Ellis Johnson. I am a fan, like, for real. Just the fact that you take action on this vision that's in your head, right? Yeah. Like, we're not in this room together if he doesn't take any action on this idea in his head. We're not even in this, you realize we're not even in this room? I'm not even seeing Kelly right now. You know, I'm like we're not here if he does not think about this and then take action, right? So I'm telling you, you have a little shift today, and you need a shift. So I pray about this stuff before I come to speak, and what I've changed what we're talking about 5 times. Because I think somebody signed up who wasn't coming, and then all of a sudden they decided to come, and it's like one of y'all online in Brazil or Nigeria or wherever, or Oak Cliff, that's where I'm from. That's my hood. Yeah, that's my hood. Stop playing, for real. All right, anyway. But I just think that we're in a weird season. It's a lot of stuff going on. But it doesn't matter what happens out there. The biggest thing is what happens in here. Yes. Right? It don't make, a boat is great on the water. The problem is when the water get in the boat. We got to get ready so that we can get and go through these storms and prepare ourselves to overcome and go up and go to the top after the storm. That's what we got to get ready for, y'all. All right? Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you, Father, for each of the wonderful individuals that have joined us. Those who are online right now, thank you for them. Thank you, Father, just for Clifton and just his heart to share, to pour, to connect, to give. He's just got to be one of the most giving people I've connected with, Lord. I just thank you for his heart. I thank you for his purpose and how that purpose is impacting every single one of us. I ask you now that you prepare the hearts of everybody who's going to be listening today. And I pray, God, that you just create a crazy fervor that will make them move forward and stop just thinking about what they're getting ready to do and do it. We thank you, Father, for these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so this story that is yes, I think they got it on. I'm good, guys? Oh, yeah, we're good, yeah. So my story is your story. It's not just mine. Everything I've dealt with or gone through, you either are in it or have overcome it, right? The cool thing I like about life, and I think Clifton started this earlier, we are all in this together, y'all. And I think we forget that. Like, folks start doing good in life, and then like, say, man, where you go? You can't find them no more, right? But we all in this together, right? My dad was like that. My dad was an amazing, larger-than-life character. We really thought about making a cartoon character and let that be the logo because he was a character. He talked loud. He was loud. Ooh. He was out of control. I loved him, though. I really did. I really did. He used to get on my nerves, but I loved him. I did. But, so Dad was like a serial entrepreneur. He had a mortgage banking company. He had insurance, and he had a roofing company. So he was going to help you one way or the other, right? He'd do the loan for your house, right? When your roof messed up, he'd get the roof because he already wrote the insurance on it. He made all the money. And then this is what he would do. Just to thank you, he would smoke a turkey or a ham and just give it to you, just to say thank you for the business. Yeah. But there's only one crazy thing that happened. He started getting more calls for turkeys and hams than he did for roofing. Like, what in the world? A friend of his came over his house one day. Dad had over 100 turkeys around the house thawing out. And the guy came and said, John, what? You need a restaurant, brother. It's time. This is too much. So Dad being Dad, like, okay, I'll open a restaurant. And this is the thing. You know, back then it wasn't a whole, but internships that wasn't a thing, right? But he created his own internship. He found a guy that had, this older white guy, had a restaurant. And he said, hey, man, you mind if I come over there and work for you for free for about 6 months? The guy said, you want to work for free? Come on over, son. Yeah, come on. So Dad started working with him. He worked for him for 6 months. He had no idea how to run a restaurant. He had no idea how to operate a smoker. He knew none of that. So he took some time with that guy for about 6 months, figured it out. He was starting to sell turkeys and hams and take that money to the bank. So what he would do is Dad would get up early in the morning. He'd have his three-piece suit on. He'd put on some coveralls to cover all that, and he'd go work in the restaurant with the coveralls for about 2 or 3 hours. Then he would take that off, leave, and go do his mortgage banking. And smelling like barbecue the whole time. The people at the bank loved to smell his deposits. Ooh, John, your money is just delicious. It's just great. So he did that for a while, finally opened up a restaurant. And 1976, he opened up Big John's Barbecue. Big John's was open for 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, the smoker caught on fire. Fire and like smoke was billowing all throughout the restaurant, blowing outside all on Mockingbird. One of the customers came in and they like, man, y'all got all this smoke in here? You need to call this place Smokey John. So one thing about Dad was he was great at taking advice. Yeah. 2 weeks later, he took down the sign, Big John, and all of a sudden, Smokey John's was born. And that's how we got the name Smokey John's. So, as I said, Dad was a character. He knew a lot of different people. He totally just connected with anybody he knew. And one of these guys started coming in. Guys started coming in like every day for about 3 weeks. He found out the guy was a Dallas Cowboy player. It was Harvey Martin. I don't know if anybody remember Harvey Martin. So Harvey Martin was there, and they became friends. And he's like, man, I really want to get involved. So Harvey actually joined the business, became a partner. Harvey had another friend on the team. His name was Drew Pearson. So Harvey and Drew's like, man, this barbecue is good. I got to get in on this too. So they got in together and they started opening up businesses, and then they started opening up stores all over from San Antonio to El Paso, and they all had these clubs and bars. Essence Magazine named Smokey John's the place to go in Dallas 5 years in a row, right? It was the spot. Al Green, when he would finish his sets here in Dallas, he would come to the restaurant and he would sing sets. BB King used to come in, and after he finished his set, he'd come in and he'd tell Smokey, he said, look here, me and Lucille will play as long as the ribs keep coming. So he played for ribs. And so Al Green, all these guys, Charlie Pride, all these guys would come in, and so it was really the spot. It was the place in Dallas. At one point, Dad was killing it, you know, especially having a restaurant on the north side in the 70s was like, wow, man, you're doing some good things. Something happened, though. The Lord got a hold of Dad's heart. And he's like, I got to get out this club business. And he just didn't want that lifestyle anymore. So he shut the restaurant down. And he went bankrupt. He had people mad, picketing at the restaurant because they were shutting down this is my spot. Smokey and went and got saved? Oh, man. Golly. So he shut the restaurant down. He shut the bars and clubs down and just totally went bankrupt. Didn't know what he was going to do, but the beauty was he had a lot of connections and a lot of good people that he had met. And they decided to pour back into him, and he was able to get out of bankruptcy and keep the restaurant going. So I never will forget this. 1998, I got a phone call. I was in college at UNT, living my best life, my whole best life. I wasn't even thinking about graduating. Hey, this is great. This is great. I had just overcome a 1.7 GPA. See, hey, look, y'all, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know anybody's story, you know what I'm saying? And I was like kicking it. I had already lost my scholarships and everything. My dad was like, look, you can't even live here no more. You're going to pay rent or go back to school or figure it out. And I was like, man. My brother called in 1998. He said, say, man, I think I'm coming back to the restaurant to, like, do this restaurant thing. I was like, you coming back? Like, and he was in New York. He had been in Europe, and he was, like, working with NBA and street ball partners, all the Gatorade. And I was like, you coming back to the restaurant? I said, man, if you coming back, I want to come back. I said, man, this will be fun. So I said, man, I'm finna go ahead and graduate then. That motivation come out of nowhere sometimes, right? So I went ahead and graduated. I took mini masters, summer masters, all this stuff, and I graduated that same year. And we got in this business, and we started doing the business together. I don't know if any of y'all do family business. Anybody do family business? Thought about family business? If you think about it, call me. All right, talk to me. If you got questions, y'all come talk to me. I'll tell you how to write the paperwork up. Do it right. Stop playing. Family business. Tell the Lord, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So we were going along in business and fighting generational ideas from parents that established a great business. But the thing is, restaurant business was changing. There was this thing called a website. They didn't want no parts of no website. What is that? No, we don't need no website. We're fighting ideas. And so finally, at one point, my brother was like, man, I can't do this. No, he had a baby on the way. We weren't making no money. We were broke. For real, we were broke. And he was like, I got to go figure it out. So Juan went off, started doing some more things in real estate and learned doing some other things. So I stayed there. And I'm like, I really don't know why I'm staying here because, Lord, it's a struggle. And so I remember I was at church one day, and I'll never forget this. It was a turning point in my life. There was a really good friend of mine, Carlos Lynn. I think he's a head football coach for Crowley now. He preached a message talking about excellence. And he talked about, even though you may be in a stuck situation where you are, like how can you apply excellence to your life to see what excellence can create. Like, what if I operated in total excellence? What if I was just completely focused on being excellent, not worried about what other people think, not worried about, oh, well, they're doing this, and well, I am working hard. Forget about all that. What if you act and are moving in excellence? What doors could that open for you? And I was sick of being where I was. I never forget this. Carlos said, this is what I want you to do. Take a sheet of paper, write down what you want to see your life to be like. Where do you want your life? Where do you want your life to go? Write that stuff down. How do you want to change? Like, how do you want to be? Do you want to, I was like, man, I want to be more inspirational. I want to be more motivating. I want to be able to have some levels of success. I wrote everything in my life that I wanted to see change. I wrote that on a sheet of paper. I folded that sheet of paper up, and Carlos said, fold that sheet of paper up and put it in an envelope and write the word excellence on the front of that envelope. Carlos said, take that envelope and tape it to your bedroom, to your bathroom mirror, because everybody go to the bathroom first thing in the morning. I'm saying if you don't, that's new, but that's all right. Everybody go to the bathroom. Everybody go to the bathroom. Everybody, I don't care who you are, you go to the bathroom, right? Put that on your bathroom mirror and look at that word excellence every morning. And wait a while until you feel like things are different. Don't open that envelope. Don't open it. Just leave it there. I'm operating excellence. I'm operating excellence. I started doing that. Started working hard. Started learning the business, learning restaurants. Not worried about what my parents are thinking. The whole time my dad is watching, and I don't realize it, because I'm in excellence, and when you focus on excellence, you really ain't paying attention to what anybody else thinks or what they think about you. You're focused. As I was doing that, all of a sudden, one day, Dad goes, there's a restaurant opening up. There's a restaurant that went out of business. You think you can take it over and run it? What? Okay, all right, yes, I can. Let's do it. Let's go. So he fronted the money. I paid him back, most of it. Don't tell everybody. Some of it's still in the books. I mean, not now, but yeah. Clifton. Don't. Let's edit that out. We'll take that back out. We'll run that back later. Okay. But so So my dad was like, hey, let's get this. So we got this restaurant, and then my brother and I had all of these crazy ideas that we always wanted to do. So you know what I did? I did them. I just did them. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a clue. So we started doing all these ideas, and the business is growing, and the business is going great, and the business is running, and we're doing well. My parents are running. They're still having the Mockingbird store. Now I have my own store on Gaston. We're doing great. And then my mom dies. 2010, mama dies. Out of the blue. Went to the hospital. They let her go home. Gave her some pain pills. Didn't know that her aorta was rupturing. Dad called me Sunday morning. He said, she's gone. What? I just picked her up from the hospital. She's gone? Okay, so we make it. 4 days later, we're going, we're moving. We have the funeral. Gaston catches on fire. So now my business is down. Now I have to go back. I have a crew. I don't know what they're going to do. So I go back. I bring the whole crew back to Mockingbird. And now I started going back into Mockingbird and trying to figure out, oh my God, what's going on? I start looking at the books because I had never really seen the books. That's my parents, You know, black folks. You ain't telling nobody nothing. You just be like this. Mama, what's the recipe for the potato pie? Let me tell you, Pat. You ain't getting the recipe. Come on, Mama. can get no recipes. Look, y'all, get whatever recipes from y'all family that you can. Like, get them, like, just watch them and write it down, because they ain't going to tell you nothing. They don't want to tell you nothing. Anyway, so that's sorry. That's your fault. So I have to go back to Mockingbird, try to get this whole thing kind of figured out. I started looking at the books. We're losing $8,000 to $9,000 a month. I don't even know how we're in business. I realized Dad was just putting money in the business, hoping just to keep it. I had no idea that this was going on. No clue what's really happening. We in here struggling. Like, you gotta understand, this your parents. This is like the Superman, Superwoman. How are we where we are? It's okay. And it was all of a sudden, the fire at Gaston became a blessing. I could have never told you that. So the fire pushes me to find out information I had no idea about. Man, I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. So I get the information. I start talking to Dad. I was like, Pop, what are we doing? What's going on? He's like, yeah, hey man, we just trying to keep it going, baby. We just trying to keep it going, you know. And Pop is doing a lot of ministry work, so he's kind of traveling. He's speaking across the country, and he's doing a lot of stuff. So he really wasn't looking at what was going on. The business has just gotten stagnant. It just happens. I mean, it just happens. That's just life, right? So I get in there. I said, okay, we're going to change stuff. So I started working on recipes. I started creating recipes, adding things, changing stuff. And like all that excellence, I took that excellence back over to Mockingbird. And just like, all I know to do is to do this. Because that's all we're doing over here. Well, that still wasn't working because we still struggling. So I said, you know what? I've got to get in the streets and I got to start meeting people. So we were like barely had any money. So I took $50 out of the cash register. I said, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some copies of some menus and coupons and I'm gonna pass those out. That's what I'm gonna do. So I got these copies, orange paper. I said, can't nobody, you gotta see orange paper, right? So I copied the menus and coupons, take them, I'm passing out all over Mockingbird, every place from Hertz to Dollar Tree. I mean, not Dollar Tree, what's the, Crown Plaza, like every hotel, I was everywhere. I said, okay, I did that for a couple weeks. Nothing happened, nothing. I'm just saying, nothing happened. You know, you think you got a good idea and like you act on it and then like, nothing happened. Like, why did not, I did it though. Like nothing happened at all. God, dog. Okay, so I said, I'm gonna keep doing it, but just keep it going. So I kept passing it out. I never will forget this. This is the life-changing moment of why I'm even standing here right now. This seems so simple and so little, but it is literally the very reason why I am still, like I got lights on at home. I'm serious, like for real. I couldn't, for real. I may not have lights, but what for this moment? Passing out these coupons, these orange highlighter coupons, pass them out. And I get to this front desk, and this little old white lady, she takes it, she goes, oh, this is nice. Ma'am, what are you doing? What? She said, it don't smell like nothing. It's a menu, ma'am, it's a coupon. What are you talking about? It don't smell like nothing. She's like, but you're a barbecue place. I was like, okay. She says, it should smell like barbecue. I was like, what? Okay. I need $50 more. I'm finna short the cash register right now. So I took the money out the cash register. We were short because she said I closed that night and we were short, but that's all right because we're gonna get that $50 back. I hope, because I don't wanna do this again. Okay? I got 1,000 flyers. I took all those flyers and put them in a smoker and I smoked the flyers overnight. The next day I said, let me think about this. Okay, people go to work, The first 2 hours, they don't even work. They just think about where they're going for lunch. So, this is my thought. This is my thought. No, is that right? Is that right? Nobody's working. Nobody's working. That's where we're gonna go for lunch. We're gonna go for lunch. I'll work at 1, right? Right? So I say, okay, cool, not a problem. I'm gonna go get these flyers. Bam, 9:30 to 10:45. I'm gonna pass out flyers, and then just hope something happens. So 9:30, passing out flyers all over. I mean, I went all up and down Mockingbird, all the floors of every office building, everything, every single place. Came back. Open up the restaurant at 11, nothing. And then 11:15, all these people start popping up with these little orange flyers, these little orange flyers, and we started to get busy, and the business started to evolve. The one thing I want to tell you is I want you to write this down. No matter where you are, creativity is your way out. Creativity is your way out, okay? Creativity comes from eternity. And there is no limit to the amount of creativity because it comes from eternity, which is infinite. It's infinite. So you think, well, I don't have another idea. It is infinite. All you have to believe is that there is another one for me. That's all you have to know. We get stuck and trapped, and it's like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know. And I don't know is why you don't know. The answer has to be is, what do you need me to do, God? And guess what? Be afraid to just try some stuff. Try some stuff. Try some new stuff. Try some stuff you've never done before. Try it. Do it. You never know how it's going to impact your life. You're already in a bind. Who cares? What's the worst going to happen? It ain't going to work. Well, it ain't working now. What difference does that make? Right? So we start passing out these flyers over and over and over. And then I said, you know what, if I do this for the restaurant, what if I did it for catering? Okay. So I took a map and I took every large building downtown. I took every single building. I created these menus, basic, super basic, and I put them in the smoker again, and I just walked Elm Street. I walked every single place passing out flyers. All of a sudden, we started getting these catering calls. This was the only problem. I was packing the food, I was taking the catering orders, I was driving, I was the delivery driver, I was the marketing dude, I was accounts receivable. Anybody, is that your testimony? Come on, Jesus. Y'all, you got that testimony? Huh? All the hats, Lord. So, my brother said, hey, buddy, let me call him. I don't know how everything is going. Hey, bro, how you doing? How's everything going? How's the insurance business going? Good, real estate? You got any time? How you feeling about coming back doing some of this stuff? He's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, man. He's like, and he had already been kind of watching. He's like, man, you kind of got some stuff going like this. He's like, this is kind of cool. So Juan was like, okay, cool. I'm in there. I'm gonna come back. And so he kind of started working part-time, like helping out, and he was still closing real estate deals, and he was still making his money doing some stuff. But he started kind of jumping back in. And then all of a sudden, it was not one but two. And man, when I tell you, when I tell you reservoir of ideas, if you ever need an idea, call Juan. Call Juan. We had a TV show call us. It's like, hey, when we y'all start coming up with ideas for TV shows that you guys could do? That dude had 25 TV show ideas in like 35 minutes. Brother, what in the world do you be doing, you know? But when we got involved together, it started to erupt. 2013, Dad was like, man, y'all are crazy. Look, y'all buy the business from me and just do what y'all doing. So 2013, we took the company over, and from 2013 to 2017, we tripled the gross sale of the whole business. And started to go in a phenomenal way. grew our footprint at the State Fair of Texas. So we do probably one of the second largest turkey leg providers at the State Fair. And we were like having just a crazy 2017 rocking. We doing it, it's happening. We are, woo! Guy Fieri, his team called, and we were doing an event for him. He was launching his new Pig and Anchor on Carnival and wanted us to do his menu and get it ready. And we like, oh my God, Guy Fieri, this is a dream. Oh my God. I was like, we're losing it. You're going crazy. And then like the next day, the restaurant caught on fire. I don't know. One of the things we learned is you need some SOPs. We need standard operating procedures. Got to get those down. Got to really get that together. So we had this fire. Oh my God. We were shut down for 16 months. 16 months. Because the landlord was in charge of doing the roof, and he just took his time. He just, took his time. We didn't even start building for 7 months. So one thing that we learned, all you business owners, read the fine print on your insurance policy. Yeah. We had a $300,000 policy that was negated. Yes. So we dealt with the insurance company, and if you are ever dealing with a fire or any tragedy where you need insurance, get your own personal adjuster. Your own, not the insurance company adjuster. Get your own personal adjuster separate from the insurance company. So, as we start going through this, we're like, man, what in the world? What are we going to do? Let me see where I'm on time. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm trying. Hey, So, we're like trying to figure out what are we going to do? Because we can just walk away. Because pretty much everything's burned up. What are we going to do? In those moments right there, you get to kind of like look at yourself and figure out, am I going to keep going or am I going to quit? Sometimes you start thinking, Lord, maybe you don't want us to do this. Maybe we need to do something different. Maybe we need to go back to roofing like Dad. I don't know what we need to do. And during that time, we started to identify who we are. So the next thing I would say is understand who you are. In challenges and trials, they will make you look inward and make you question exactly who you are and what you're doing. Is this what I want? See, because you'll figure it out, like in the middle of tragedy. Is this what I really want? Is this what I really want to do? And who am I in this? We figured out what type of a restaurant we were. There's a lot of boutique barbecue. You got the Pecan Lodge, and you got these other guys that have like this boutique barbecue. And like, who are we? Well, we gotta do like home cooking. We got mac and cheese and sauteed cabbage and stuff. It's like that's heart, that's soul. It's like we can't lose that. I don't want to turn into what some of the other companies that are out there, because barbecue is changing. The climate of barbecue is changing. So, but we don't want to lose our identity though. But we got to stay in our lane. So through that fire, we found out who we were. We end up coming back and we got it going. 2019, we come back and open the store, and all of a sudden we are pumping and we have a record year. Everything is going. We are rocking and rolling. And then our dad dies, who's the founder. Pop passes. And as Clifton said, it's different when both your parents are gone. Because then guess what? It's you. The good thing was it was me, my brother, and my sister, so we had each other, right? In the middle of these trials, though, you keep looking inward to purpose. How many of you guys are at or have been at that place of, what is it I'm supposed to do? Like, God, why am I here? Why am I here? Like some of us avoid that question. And then what happens is we keep going around in circles. And then it makes you start to understand those Israelites. 40 years. All in the same circle. At some point, you have to stop and get some awareness. Get some awareness of self. What is it that you want me to do, God? Because he obviously has a plan and he obviously has a purpose, whether I know it or not. Okay? Identify what that is. When you get into some tragedy, because guess what? Life gonna life, y'all. Yes. What you can't do is when life happens, you can't run from it. You gotta face it and listen to the lesson that it's teaching you. Right? And it hurts because mama's gone, daddy's gone, and you have those situations. For some of us, it's a divorce. For some of us, it's a loss of a child. So for some of us, it's we lose all of our finances. But the one thing you still got is that heart still beating. He's still working, and he's still got something for you. It's up to you to figure out what it is. We kept pressing 2020, press through 2019, get through COVID. What in the world? What are we doing? But COVID was easy for us because we learned how to deal in the fire. See, the fire, we didn't have no building. COVID, we had a building. In the fire, what we realized was when you lose something, you give something. So while we were down during the fire, what we decided to do was have pop-ups, and we started giving away sandwiches and baked potatoes, and we have days where we just give it away to our customers. Because what we needed was a bigger gift than what we could give. We needed bigger, but we knew we had to give. Because that's just how God operates, y'all. His finances is different. You give first, then I got you. But you give first. It's like, man, hold on, let me give you 10, and then you give me 20? If you give me 20, you can do that? No, it's not. God's system don't work like that. You give first, then he gets you. Forgot to tell y'all. The insurance company, after the adjusters and everybody finished, ended up giving us about $1.1 million in rent, paying for our staff, and all this, because it's one key thing that you make sure you have on every policy is business interruption insurance. Always get business interruption insurance. Always get that. Always add that to every policy. They're going to ask you to. Most people are like, I don't want to spend that extra $80. Okay, business interruption insurance. And then I have this check that I got. My wife and I, we still laugh about this. That insurance company could have wrote us a check for the $300,000. The last check I got from the insurance company was $300,000. And I kept it as a copy of it just to show that's what God does. You don't worry about what man says. It's what God says, because he got you, right? As we start getting through all of these different things, we start going through all these different challenges, we learn so much about ourselves. We learn so much about what it was that God was wanting to do in our lives. And he allowed us to get through all these challenges and all these struggles to be able to give hope, to give direction, to give assurance to other people. Because if I'm able to do that, guess what? Guess who else can do it? You can do it. Whatever struggle you're in right now, the biggest thing that you have to do is be aware and acknowledge it. Through all of this, the biggest thing that I understood was I was the problem. I was the problem. There was things that I didn't know. There was education that I needed. There was work ethic that I had to have through excellence that was going to change the game for my life. But I had to get to that awareness, because awareness is directional. If I don't know where I'm lacking or where I'm missing or what I'm struggling with, then guess what? I'm just going to keep doing what? Going in that same circle. Because it's not happening for me for a reason. So we like, oh, it's the man, it's this and that. No, it's a reason why you are still in the same place. Right now, we've gotten to a place right now where I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. And guess what? One of the things I want to tell you is, you can't do this by yourself. You need an Empower series. You need a Clifton Johnson. Everybody need a Clifton Johnson. Everybody need a Clifton Johnson. Right? You may need a coach. You may need a mentor. You might need to take a course. I'm in the middle of doing all three of those right now. Because guess what? I'm stuck. And I realize that right now I'm in a place I'm like, okay, how do I expand and take this to this next level? So I've hired a coach. My brother and I have a coach. We've got courses that we're taking, and I'm learning how to now scale to the next level of a company, right? But you got to be aware of that and then take that time to invest in yourself. That's one of the things that we do is we invest in everybody else but who? Us. You may not be a person or you want to go to school, right? I promise you're going to pay for that education one way or another. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it somehow. You might as well buy somebody's course. Now, okay, get the right one. Don't be just taking Gary from accounting's course. No, Gary don't know what he's doing. Reputable courses. But the knowledge expands you and prepares you. That knowledge expands your territory, because the only block that any of us have is here. Once you break through that block, you break through the next step. And now you go to the next step in life. But you gotta face this. Some of us are running from stuff. Some of us are dealing with childhood trauma that's still keeping us in fear of taking the next step in life. See, there's something that happened to you when you were 7 years old, 8 years old, that's affecting you at 38. And you're not facing it. And you think you're going to avoid it, but that's the thing that's keeping you stuck in the same spot, because you won't acknowledge, I need help. It's crazy how mentally we get stuck, and the same in business we get stuck, because it's the same block. It's the same block. Some of us have a bad relationship with money. Get a bad relationship with money. We're so tight that we won't take chances. Investing in yourself is taking a risk on you. This gentleman was doing marathons in 7 different continents. At some point, you had to be where you were taking a chance on you. To go to another country and run? I'm not going to Irving. He went to another country. But you invested the time, you invested the energy, you invested the effort, you invested the dollars to do it. Did you win?
I ended up being the first in the world, the first black in the world.
Come on, man! Come on! What happens if you don't take the step, though?
If I had not taken the first step, other blacks would not have followed after me.
Come on! Come on. Pioneer. You know what the thing is? Some of y'all are the pioneers of your family, and you stuck. You stuck. You stuck. Your nieces and nephews are waiting on you. They just waiting for Big Auntie, Big Uncle, cousin. I just need to see an example of what it looks like. Guess what? It's you. You're the one they looking at. You're the one that they waiting on. It's you. It's you. The best feeling I feel right now is like when my nieces and nephews, they look like, man, well, y'all crazy. Y'all are doing this. So I've been on Guys Grocery Games, Food Network, The Cooking Channel, been on Good Morning America twice, Kelly Clarkson, Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sorry, Deep Fried Dynasty. So we were one of the cast members on a show for A&E. She was one of the producers on the TV show. Give it up, give it up. Give it up for Deep Fried Dynasty, and we were on like 7 episodes of that on A&E, which has created so much of a national attention because people like fly into Dallas and they like, I just saw you on the plane. Found out Deep Fried Dynasty is like the #1 show people watch on the plane. Yes. Crazy. So you come out, you go to now we're at the fair, and it's like, that's the turkey leg, people. You know? But it's like, but if we don't take those risks and we don't take those chances and we don't take those steps, we don't get to see the fruit. This young man here has seen the fruit. But guess what? That fruit is feeding other people. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna keep being regular? You gonna keep being average? You gonna keep talking yourself out of ideas that you got? You gonna take a chance on you? You gonna just go? 2025 is about to be here. Don't wait for the election and the presidential stuff. Don't wait for the government, y'all. Don't wait for the government. I promise you, don't wait for the government. Don't wait for the government. I'm not saying that one way or the other. I'm not saying any of that. Kendra, stop playing, Kendra. Kendra always be tripping. Kelly, both the two of y'all can't even be the two of y'all. Okay. Don't wait on that. Guess what? Guess who is coming to rescue you? You. You and God. And guess what? That's enough. Regardless of your half, his half is so strong. His half is so strong, it's going to take you to where you need to be. Okay? So the thing I want to do is I want to convince you to think about it. What is the block? If there's a block, it may not be one. If there is a block, what's the block? God, give that to him, right? We think everything that we give has to be money. We give time, we give effort, we give resources, we give energy. We also give our problems. Part of the reason why God can't work it out in your life is you won't let it go. If you give it, he can work with it. But you got to let it go. Get it off of you. He is as the power of God is evident in us, all around us every day. And I want to tell you who it's through. Women. That shows you the power of God. You give them sperm, they give you a baby. What if that's what you see in the natural? What are you giving God? And what is he going to give that back to you? How is he going to give it back to you? What's he going to do? You don't know. All you got to do, though, is stop, figure it out, and give it to him. And let him work it out for you. All right? Thank y'all so much. One last thing I'd like to do, one thing I'd like to say is, any of y'all that's watching online, I'm really going to be pushing this with our platform. If you want to put your money into something that can make the difference in a lot of people's lives, empowerseries.com. Donate to this amazing nonprofit organization. Take $2, $3, $5, $10, whatever you feel like, whatever's on your heart, take time to stop. If any of what I've said, the people in the room, the energy that you may feel through the screen right now, if you feel that energy and that's impacted you wherever you are, stop. When this is over, go to empowerseries.com and give. Organizations like this need to keep going. This should never, ever stop because this is where this country moves forward. This is how you make it great again. This is how you do it. By pouring into the lives of amazing people that just need a chance, that just need to hear from someone else, from each other, and to network and to commune so that they can see some amazing things come out of all of our lives together. All right? EmpowerSeries.com. When you finish, donate. $2 helps. Sorry, Clifton. Thank you.
You got to stay here, man. Stay
Appreciate you, sir.
Can you ask him some questions?
Oh, yeah. I'm good, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. You guys give it up. Show some love. Show some love. So I don't know how many of you received a message today? I'm telling you that I couldn't take all the notes. That's why we record this. Because believe it or not, I go back and I watch all of our programs over and over again. Because like anything else, after a workshop, we go back and life hits us with everything that we're trying to juggle. And so we don't retain everything. But I swear you were dropping so much knowledge and wisdom. Oh my gosh, and you speaking to me, man, because we're all growing. You know, another speaker said that the road to success is always under construction. And we're always stepping out. So there's so much that you shared about your journey that I can relate to. And what's interesting is if you look on the back of this flyer, when I was coming up with this idea, there's a section where it talks about how we do it. And I said that local and noble professionals share their story of how they have overcome adversity to achieve their goals along financial literacy or personal development topics. I'm just sitting here thinking that's exactly what you did. Right? That's what we need to do because we all have a story. We're all going through something that can be a blessing to other people. And I was just sitting back thinking, man, we didn't even talk about that. We're doing it, right? So what we're doing now, before we end, is if you have questions, right, we want to give hope that you can achieve your goals, inspire you to take action, educate you, but then also connect you to resources. This is a resource. We are a resource. The person you sit next to is a resource. So if there's any questions, feel free to answer. If you're online, I'm looking at the live chat. So if you have a question, I'll be your voice. But are there any questions for Brent? Yes. Hey, I'm going to give you the mic, and let's pass the talking stick because we want to record this and make sure people who are watching online can hear. So when you're done, pass to whoever's next.
My first question is there any way we can have that chicken tetrazzini more than Wednesdays? I've been trying to run there for 3 years, trying to get that on Wednesdays, and it's always sold out.
Yes, ma'am.
So I always say, why don't you do it more than just Wednesday?
You know, because like too much of something, like people get bored of it. But when it's like, it's kind of like that McRib. It get that they have like a few weeks. They like, well, it's about to be over, and people start buying that McRib. You know, when it's limited, people buy it more. I tell you what we're thinking about doing is doing like the meal preps, where we can have packaged family meals where people, if they want tetrazzini, they can come in and you just take it home and heat it up. So thank you, we appreciate it. That's my mama's recipe. Keep it going.
I'm Brent. Okay. My name is Twala, and you talked about excellence, which is something that's very important to me, operating in excellence.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you and your brother Juan get your employees to take on that whole mindset as well? Because it's hard to do that when you're trying to work with people, to operate in a mindset of excellence.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is one of the things that when I talk about you can't do it alone. So I was a part of the Goldman Sachs 10KSB program as well that really expanded my mind. One of the things I learned was I had to set what our core values were for the company and mission. Like you have a mission, it's like, oh, great. So, and then you have your core values. Like for us, it's, you know, intention, education, spirit of family. So it's like there's a certain thing that we're about and that we want to be about. When we're interviewing, we're trying to see how that person matches those core values. Because if they don't match those core values, our core values in and of themselves point you towards excellence, right? And if you don't have a certain level of excellence, if you have these core values, then you're willing to learn. And we don't have a problem teaching you, right? So then what we do is we train, it's like this, hire character, then train skill, right? Because if you can hire character and then train skill, then you can have a possibility of a strong team, right? So that's one of the things. And then we train like every month. My core team meets every 2 weeks. So that's my leaders and managers. And I get them all together and we talk. You know, what are the issues that they're dealing with, the struggles. So our 3 things are food, faith, family. That's what we're about. Food, faith, family. So I interject faith in every meeting that we do. So people also that repels folks who shouldn't be with us. That's just part of what we do. And they can't stand that level of light and have to leave. So, but people who believe in what we believe in, they usually will listen and will learn, and they're willing to. They're willing to. And that's a thing. Another thing that we really hire towards is willing to. We really do. That's a big problem that folks are like, oh, that's not my job. I'm not. They did not hire me to sweep. I'm the cashier. It's like, I learned this. So we did a TV show with Todd Graves, Raising Cane's. And he is a big mentor of mine, like phenomenal man. I learned a lot from him. On his shirts, so he's the founder and owner of Raising Cane's. It says, cashier, fry cook, line. He's all those. And that's the mentality they take in their company is we do all of this. And so that's how they get around that same thing is they teach willing and bring in people who are willing to do more. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have blessed me.
Oh, you blessed me already. You started talking about excellence. I was like, did you read my notes? You did it, girl.
I am so grateful. I am in the independent school districts. I was in Irving. I'm in Richardson. And what I go in for is to teach our children who sometimes are in very horrible homes how to maintain themselves, how to get your heart together, how to know that you are loved no matter what your mama said,
Yes, ma'am.
your daddy said, whoever said.
Yeah.
You are worthy. One of the things that I'm passionate about is excellence and being willing to learn, to grow. That is what I want to do. So I wanted to ask, is there like a membership for empowerment series? Is there a membership? I'm always interested in how to grow us who are trying to do all that we need to do and empower more, because God, he doesn't just bless some, he blesses all of us. So is it? And how can I join it?
Yes, that's a solid question.
Yes, there is a membership, and you are in. Actually, we are all in because we're all part of the community. So the answer is yes, stay engaged. I'm asking people online and even here to email me, thrive@empowerseries.com. If you go to our website, you can go ahead and put in your name and your email address and phone number and how you want to participate and be engaged. There may be a more official membership process, but right now it's just your time, right? And so the answer is yes. You participating, get involved. And I ask 4 things of everyone. Number 1, you must get what you're supposed to get out of the Empower Series. That's the main purpose. Come and get what you're supposed to get. Number 2, share it with someone else. So I'm so glad that people are sharing this with other people, bringing their friends. online, you're sharing it. So please, we want to have a broader reach. And the only way people will find out about the Empower Series is if you share it. So please share it with other people. You're going to get educated, but what we need, since it costs to do this, is every time I'm filling out a grant request, they're asking me, okay, so how is this impacting people's lives? And so if you go online, there's a take survey, and that's where you can tell your story and share how the Empower Series has impacted your life. And I can use that to actually show our impact and help get funding to continue to grow and expand. So those are 3 things that everybody can do. And then, as Brent was saying, volunteer. So the people around here who are helping us check in, I would say our AE Media Group team provides a lot of in-kind services to help. So giving of your time, giving of your talents of how we can grow, and giving of your treasure can help make the membership the Empower Series continue to grow. So those are the things. So you're a member. We're all members, right? Can't get kicked out. You can fire us, but we're not going to fire you. The other thing that's really interesting, I'll just say this, is that for the people who are here, sorry for the people online, we've been grubbing, right? The food, we got to give it up for the food. Give it up for the food. So I know you had a flashback of like when you were the cook, the marketer.
Yes, sir.
Because his team is all busy. And we talked about this yesterday. He said, man, we just swamped. It's like, so he came in and did it all.
Hey,
you
it's Clifton, man.
You cooked the food, delivered the food.
Hey,
So this is Brent.
it's Clifton. It's Clifton, brother.
I just wanted to say the message today was just so empowering, and it was so important for me to be here because I was going to join online, but just really felt an unction to be here.
Wow.
And then I just wanted to piggyback and just say, I'm there every week, usually on Wednesdays. For
Yes,
3
ma'am.
years. So, but I see for the staff, I see it, and it's been years that I've been going, that they really embrace the values, and I see it when I go in, and I watch because service is important to me, so they got the juice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
There is another question online.
Okay.
A person was asking that they need a business coach or a mentor. So I know that I've talked about SCORE, and I'm going to give her some resources, but how did you find your business coach and your mentor?
Online, researching, looking at reviews based on this individual, and then coach depending on what your area that you're looking in. So you may be education, maybe real estate. I mean, there are tons of coaches, especially in Dallas. There's a lot. Maybe there's leadership that you're interested in. Dallas has a ton of leadership coaches, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, you'll just look through and then get their references and cross-reference and talk to different people about what the person actually has done for you, because you want results, right? You don't want to just have a person that has been a coach. It's great for people who've been doing this, that they're getting started, but I wanted someone who has been doing this at least 10 years or more. So that was one of my requirements. I need someone who's been doing this for a long time and has expanded multiple units. And then when I researched the person, they had done, they'd worked with Wolfgang Puck, opened up several of his restaurants. And so it was kind of like, okay, this is what I need. And I think I started working with a guy. The first 3 weeks was already like a game changer for us. So a good coach is amazing.
And I would add to that, if resources are tight and you're not able to invest in a coach, that's where there's resources available. The Small Business Development Center has a resource partner called SCORE. If you're not familiar with that, again, stay connected with me, thrive@empowerseries.com. And what SCORE is, it's an organization that has a group of either retired executives and professionals or people who are currently working that are volunteering their time to be your mentor and coach in a specific area. So you can go to score.gov or the website. I'll give it to you if you stay connected with me. And what is it? SBA.gov. And then there's a number of different resources. So SCORE is one of them, the Small Business Development Center, the Women's Development Center, and VBOC. But SCORE has its own website as well. And you can pick a mentor who is an expert in your particular field. And that's all at no cost to you. So you can start there if money's an issue, and then as you continue to grow and build, then you can look at investing in the coach that you have to pay for.
Thank you, sir. Drew a blank for a second, but
That's all right. I've been there.
first thing I wanted to say was I just appreciate your faithfulness literally through literal fire and symbolic fire, because it gave you a very impactful perspective today that is definitely going to be consolidating in my mind until Sunday. So thank you for the homework. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And the question I really want to ask is, I understand a leader of mine told me that as you have to make more decisions as you grow, the quality of your decisions tends to decrease, which is why delegation is so necessary. And so I want to ask you proactively, what is your thought process behind, delegation, because you have started to take on so much?
Yeah, that's so one thing you know about me is I'm just honest and transparent. That's a big struggle for me, delegating. So in the last 2 years, I'm growing in that area of delegating. So we've expanded our team to have the restaurant managers. I have catering, senior catering managers, catering specialists. We have a whole crew now. So that was one of the struggles for me, because I don't know whatever the struggle that you may deal with do you have a struggle with delegating, or?
I wear a lot of hats.
Got it. Okay. So I think so one of my mentors was like, okay, Brent, what's profitable? Because I was doing a bunch of stuff too that wasn't profitable, just wasn't making any money. And he was like, so if you had to channel your energy to certain areas, what do you think you would get the biggest return on your investment? And so I had to identify what those areas are. And so once I did that, it actually made me streamline. And so I've started cutting all of that extra stuff down, right? I was doing, I'm my dad's child, I was doing real estate and building houses and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, whoa. Wait a minute. So within the last year, so 2024 for me was totally streamlining myself and focusing on what I thought could give the biggest return. So I started focusing heavily on the restaurant, heavily on catering. Now we had this opportunity. Now we're in HEB, so our barbecue rub is in HEB all across Texas, and developing that relationship. And this is the other thing I do is I kind of watch where the door God is opening. Because sometimes, like, you ever go like a door is opening, but like that's not the one you wanted? That's not the door I was wanting, but like, didn't even think that was like, I didn't even think that this was like we going this way? So what started happening was my brother and I did this competition. We put into for HEB, got third place, won $10,000 and won to get on the shelves. This is 2 years ago, on the shelves at HEB. Then all of a sudden, we started developing relationships in HEB. And so now we're producing banana pudding for Joe V's, the new HEB, the new concept in Oak Cliff. And so now they just told us we're going to the new store in Pleasant Grove and then going to the next store. So now we're in manufacturing. So my brother is taking that. Okay, you're opening that door. I got to let that go. So I've let that go. I have a person who's over catering. I let her do her thing. She runs the catering. She does Adrienne Louise does a phenomenal job on that. She does her thing. And I focus on the restaurant and I start training leaders. And the biggest thing that I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to duplicate myself. So I've got 2 or 3 people that I'm pouring into to teach them everything that I know so that I can get ready, because I have a different concept that we want to do that actually is going to be the concept that we multiply across the state. So that's been the biggest thing I had to do was my mentor, this dude so we were not doing much in catering, when I was like going through all the struggle and stuff, and I was like, if we could just get here, you know. So now we do over $1 million a year in just catering, right? So a friend of mine does 14 million in just catering. So that's my mentor. He does 14 million a year in catering. So one of the things that I always heard, and this is so true, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So, but if that's a desire that you let something go and to figure out, you may need a mentor or a coach in that area to say, okay, help me talk through what all I'm doing. Because you know what your problem is? I'm gonna tell you what your problem is right now. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you this flat out. This is a true story. And I want you to understand this, because this is gonna be, how old are you? 26. God, dog, I'm telling you, this is where I was. This is what my problem was. And this is gonna be your problem for the next 10 years until you like take this for real. If you don't listen, you remember them Israelites? Remember them Israelites? That's 40 years. Okay. You're good at a lot of stuff. That's the problem. That's the problem. You can't split you 8 ways and expect to create a river. But if you focus in 1 or 2 directions, you can create the river that'll flow to your life. Okay? You just got to really think, and that's why I tell you, this is a shift today. I want you to really take some time to think, what's the 1 or 2 things, most important things, that if I focus all my energy on this, back in the Bible, I talk about Elijah plowing. He said he had his head to the plow, right? When you plow, you can't be focused on 3 different things, because you're going to mess up the lines of the rows that you're going to be plowing. So you've got to be focused on that. This man knows more than anything. If you were training for a marathon, you couldn't also be training to be an incredible chef at the same time, right? You had to focus on running and running your race. Run your race. Find out what your race is. And then and I promise, it's going to open the door and it's going to take stress off of you. Because you're taking on a lot of stress in areas for no reason. You're taking on a lot of stuff. You're taking on, and it's been burdening you for a while. And now you just got to let this stuff go. And then you got to go, okay, you know what? Let me let this go. This may be a desire, but as I move in this direction, I always wanted to be on television. I wanted to be on TV. It was a goal of mine. I had no idea the restaurant business was going to be the thing, put me on TV. I had no idea. I had no clue that I was going to get on TV as much as we are right now because of restaurant. No clue. Took the first step. I got a call to State Fair and said, hey, we're going to tell these people from Destination America that you're going to do a TV show. It's like, what? End up doing a television show. I won the show. And then that's Guys Grocery Games. Then I'm on a show with Valerie Bertinelli. And then we just start boom, boom, now. And then we were with Food Network and signed with Guy Fieri's production company. Same as his. What? From Chicken Tetrazzini? Chicken Tetrazzini got me there. Whatever you focus on, it's going to open the next doors. And it's going to be weird, but it's going to open these other doors. Because the people you meet on the path that you're supposed to go to going to end up pulling these other things that you were already wanting, and they're going to bring it all to you. But you got to be going your path the way you're supposed to go. And you got to know that. And you got to know what that is, because if you don't know what it is, it's going to knock you off track. And you're going to keep stalling. That makes sense? You keep stalling and keep falling backwards where you should have been here by now, but you keep getting distracted on these other little things, and the distractions are what's keeping you from your breakthrough. Okay?
Yes, wonderful story and very inspiring. I guess my question is, as you were doing this self-reflection before you hit the big time,
Ain't no big time.
besides the Bible, what are one or two books that you read? Because
Come on.
none of us have invented the wheel. It's already
Yes.
right. So one or two books you might say would help as you're doing your self-reflection.
One or two books. Good Lord. Okay. Know this. This is something that I heard Fred Smith say this years ago. This is before he passed away. He said, you are going to be the same person you are today. The only thing that's going to change you is the 5 people closest to you and the books that you read. That's the only thing that will change you, right? If the circle of people that you're around, if you look at the 5 folks closest to you, that's actually who you are. If you don't like that, guess what you got to do? You got to change those people. You got to change those people. You need somebody. If you want to be a millionaire, you better have a millionaire friend. I'm just saying, like if that's what you want, if whatever you want to be, you better have that in your circle. Because if you not, you're not going to be it. Books. One of the books that was life-changing for me was The Alchemist. The Alchemist was super powerful book. Ooh, Lord, just look, it's your notes. Just The Alchemist, Alchemist. I think it's what Alchemist. That's right. Yeah, I don't. It's a phenomenal book, The Alchemist. You'll see it. It's a very popular book. The Alchemist, 4 Agreements. 4 Agreements was an incredible book. Gives you help you to see perspectives. Not only because most of us see our lives only from our one perspective, we don't see it from 4 other different, like other people's perspective. How does your mom see you? How does your brother or sister? How do they see you? What do they think about you? And learning how to see yourself in different perspectives. The 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements, a powerful book. Another one is From Good to Great. That's another powerful book. I literally have a book list of about 100 books. That was one of the things that when I wanted to start changing, I learned that, I was broke, so I could get some books. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, I was like, and the books were the things that were changing for me. I did one of the books that changed me was Miles Monroe's Spirit of Leadership. That was a super powerful book. I'm trying to think of. Man, you put me on the spot on books. I got 1,000 of them.
But those are about character or just some books enlighten you about heritage and our place. Some books inspire you about being a servant.
Yes.
And some teach you about your skills, about your interpersonal side.
Yeah, I mean that was all the whole deal. Like, the awareness part is identifying where my problem was. That's why I wanted books to help me identify where my problem was. The thing that one thing I feel like I didn't learn, I don't know if we learned through church, is God gives you the ability to create who you want to be. Because the Bible says, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. So we have these desires, but we don't know how to get to them. Right? So it's like if you follow the desire, that's directional. Like, what's your favorite car? My favorite car? Like if money wasn't a matter, like what car would you buy? Wow. Ooh, see what I'm saying? It's a little stuff. A Porsche Cayenne? Girl, we in the same boat. Okay, Porsche Cayenne. Ooh, why is that? I messed you up, didn't it? Keep thinking. Sit there and think about it. Kendra, what's the car that you would buy right now?
It's the Tesla with the butterfly.
Come on with the butterfly thing. The Tesla?
The Tesla, the one with the doors looked up.
Okay. The Tesla? Okay.
No car like that, but that's what I'm.
But that's okay. Anybody? What car? The Infinity.
I think it's 456.
Oh, you want the big one. Oh, you want the big one. Okay. Oh, baller. Yeah, stop playing. All with you. Yes, ma'am. That's it right there. Infinity? Oh, look at what God doing in your life. Yes, Jesus. Jesus loves me. But you see how every one of us have a different car that we like? Why is that? That's your desire. Like, it's all separate. It's why do I like that? That desire is directional. What do I want? Then you're like, God, show me God, show me what do you want me to do? He'll say, what do you want? I've already put it in you. What do you want? I have given you the desires of your heart. This is the part we forget. We don't want the responsibility of identifying what we want. We want somebody to tell us what we want. But he's already put it inside of you. What do you want? Oh, okay. And once you identify what you want, then that's how you figure out who you want to be. And when you figure out who you want to be, you get to paint your life. So what do I want to, okay, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be this. I want to be I want to have better character. One of the books that I have that I just finished was Atomic Habits. I need my habits to be better. Phenomenal book, right? Phenomenal book. Atomic Habits. Like, I need to be better and be more consistent. I need to figure out a way how to hack consistency.
How do you rest?
Me? Like this. No. I mean, I'm still learning that one. I'm trying to tell myself to get into bed at 11 o'clock. That's my goal. Every night is go to bed at 11, be up at 6. If I go 11 to 6, I'm good. It's like, so my habit right now, like, I have to get up in the morning, have prayer and meditation. I got to do it. Like, if I don't, there's so much stuff that comes at me in the day. I need to build up a wall of energy to be able to, because people pull from you. Like, when you're leading people, they pull from you. And you got to be able to pour back into yourself. That's the biggest thing I learned probably like 10 years ago. Like, every one of y'all, if you have a cell phone, put it up right there. What do you do at night? Yeah, that's it? You don't do anything with that phone? But you charge it? So you got to put that thing into the socket and power it up so that you can use it the next day. But we don't do that with ourselves, though. We do that with our phone. We are more consistent with something that really doesn't impact our lives like our lives. Don't plug back into the source. Because people are going to draw from your power every day. And most of the time, while we make bad choices, is we don't have energy. We don't. I'm tired. Because you guys, you're here. Like, the fact that you're in this room, you got up and made a decision to come and sit down and listen to somebody you don't know. Because not about me or Clifton or the Power City, because you are looking for something. I want to learn something today, right? That already puts you in a different category of people. See, y'all are the folks that your family comes to when they need something. Yes. I want to tell you, I want you to understand who you are. They drain you. And if you don't get a habit of refilling yourself, then what's going to happen is you're going to lose yourself. And you lose yourself, and you don't know, then you don't have the energy to make the choices that you need to make for you. Because you're giving all of your best stuff to other folks, not to you. It's the airplane situation. When the oxygen mask falls, put it on your face first, then help the other kids. Okay? Anyway, sorry. So sorry.
You got one more question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, well, it's actually more of a comment. First, I really appreciate everything that you said today. And one of the things that you talked about was being so focused that you're really not paying attention to other people, to other things that are going on around you.
Yes, sir.
I had a role model for distance running for almost 40 years. And I had an opportunity to finally sit down and interview this guy. Wow. And the first thing he said was, I've heard about you. My brother and my son were both telling me about all the things that you've been doing, and I like everything that I'm hearing. I never knew that this guy had been watching me. It was Dick Gregory.
Oh my God.
And you asked me about if I had ever, about winning marathons, and you mentioned that you went to UNT.
Yes, sir.
In 1983, I won the 29 and under age group at the North Texas State University Marathon, which is now
UNT. Yes, sir. Oh my God. Jeez Louise. Man. That's incredible. That's incredible. Oh, wow. He gave me goosebumps, man. Golly. Goodness.
So that last comment is really saying that someone's watching you, right?
That's right.
Someone's always watching you. So again, thank you. Let's give it up. I always say that this is not the end. This is just the beginning. So one of the things we'll do before we wrap it up and say goodbye to our online audience is does everybody have a blue ticket? Everybody should have a blue ticket? Cool. Because what I'm going to do is going to raffle off my aunt's book, the Seasons of the Journey, the autobiography of Dr. James Frank. And Brent, I would like you to go ahead and pull the ticket, man. Okay, did you look and find the right one? Okay, got it. Yes, sir. So what is it? I'll give you the last three digits, 537. Okay. So look, wait. When I saw Kelly leave, I was like, you got to be present to win. No, wait. What should we do? Should we say that? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, Kelly. Kelly, I love you, right? I got you covered. But we got people here, right? So we got to do this again, okay? All right. Okay. 542. 542. Okay. I got it. So this is good. Come up here, man. Come up here. This is going to be good. So everybody, this is Tony Reed. So 2 Empower Series speakers that, man, it's just, I can't believe that, that you, like, it's really cool because you've been to an Empower Series event. It's like, you said, like, I'm not just a customer. What do you say? I'm not just the owner, I'm a customer. How did you say it when you started your program? What was it?
Oh, gosh, that was so long ago. Yeah, I'm not just a customer, but I can't remember.
Okay, well, whatever it is. The fact that speakers come to the Empower Series tells me something, right? Because you guys are extremely busy. And I want this to be something of value that no matter where you are, we're all on the same playing field, that you come to get refueled as well. So thank you for coming. And I brought you up here because you got to figure out how I'm going to give this. Who are we going to give the book to, man? Who are you going to give the book to?
I'd go ahead and draw.
Okay, so you draw.
Yeah.
Draw. And what's the number?
538.
538. Who's 538? Tell them both. That's
527.
527. Look, we went through a lot to get you this book now, right? You know what? That's what you're saying. So, look, there are no accidents. So, thank you. So, again, this is not the end. This is where we connect. We don't need to be out of here until 1 o'clock, so we've got some time to mingle. I would say definitely meet the person who's next to you. That's critically important, and be a blessing. Stay connected with the Empower Series. What were you going to say?
something kind of odd. So you mentioned one country by name, that was Brazil. I actually have money, coins in my car from Brazil that I was going to give to my granddaughter. And just kind of as a reminder of what happened here today, I can actually go out and bring the bag in, and everyone can have a coin from Brazil just to remember that they were here today.
Boom! Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, and so some of the other closing comments. As I said, online, you can click on the link below and get this schedule for next year. On the back, it tells you about the Empower Series, our vision, our mission, our beliefs, our values. But more importantly, lock these dates in. On the third Saturday of every month, we're going to be here starting in January through November, addressing visioning and goal setting in January and going through each topic every month. Please bring other people. So my vision for next year is that I love the fact, I wish I spoke another language. But what we can do is, with all this technology, is translate our programs to Spanish or another language. So next year, my vision is that we're going to have all of our programs translated to Spanish as well, and we're going to reach a larger group. And you can be a part of that. So stay engaged. I appreciate you. I love you. I want to be here to support you and empower you. So don't let this be the end. Let it be the beginning. Stay connected with us. And I want to thank you for being online. Until we meet again, be empowered and inspired to thrive. So thank you online, and we're not ending here yet. Okay.